these teams can achieve. Kira Esports from South Asia versus Fnatic, the mixed team hailing from APAC North. Let's see how it goes down.
Bit of history as we head into this one. I had a look through Kira's history, in fact, and they have played this match a little bit, at least in the South Asian Nationals. They lost 3-7 to Mercs in the upper bracket final, and they also were going to verse MIG in the semi-finals, but it didn't go the distance as Kira won that series 2-0. It wasn't played in their open qualifier, number 2, the one that actually got them into the closed qualifier. So in terms of history, a little bit limited. But maybe a bit concerning as well, considering they did lose quite heavily to Mercs.
And the flip side of that is Fnatic won 7-0 the last time they played this against T1 in APAC North, right? So, a bit concerning, you know, Kira going into this, knowing that Fnatic have had such convincing a result on this map. Of course, if you look a little bit further back into history, this is by no means Fnatic's best map. They'd lost it several times to Cloud9, and as well in... Oh, actually, no, they'd won it every other time they played it, actually. Oh, no, Guts, there you go. My eyes deceived me for a moment. So they have mixed results on this map overall. But jumping into the operator ban phase, something I find a bit funny is the fact that we're seeing that Zofia ban coming out. Once again, it already happened in the Cafe game against Chiefs earlier, and I'm starting to think, what is this? What is the idea here from Fnatic banning Zofia?
Yeah, a little bit peculiar. Maybe they just feel like maybe the other regions, the other teams are a little bit more confident on the Zofia. Important to remember that South Asia are not afraid to shy away from frag-heavy play styles. In fact, I was talking to the analyst who praised the team's ability to frag out, and taking the Zofia off the board often facilitates that play style or prevents that play style from coming into fruition, at least a little bit. But as you mentioned, a little bit peculiar that Fnatic bringing it out in both games. I do like the counter ban as well there from Kira. Echo taken off the board. We saw Alfama, arguably with mixed results, playing that over on Cafe earlier against the Chiefs. So good impactful ban there as well from the South Asian team.
Yeah, definitely one that Fnatic have loved for a long time, and despite a farmer failing a little bit with the Echo in one round, it's certainly an operator that we can see Fnatic doing a lot of damage with. And overall, that means there's a lot less information gathering, right? On the defensive side, with both Valkyrie and Echo gone, you don't have quite as many cameras. But of course, it does mean that the Maestro is on the table, as well as that mirror. We're seeing both employed here by Kira for this garage defense first up. I also like this reinforcing some of these hatches in Visa, just preventing some easy map control from Fnatic should they go into Visa and start to get control of archives early on. But I feel like we are expecting this to be a Fnatic game, but at the same time, you know, Kira, the underdogs, I feel like just by definition, underdogs you can never underestimate, right? Because you always have to be careful of that surprise match where they come through, and they've already done it to Cyclops, which was my team to take the tournament. I thought they were going to take it down. Fnatic probably looking to be the runners-up, I reckon. The next best to take the whole tournament. Wonder if Kira could make it all the way to that upper bracket final.
We have, of course, seen Fnatic involved in the underdog story themselves, harping back to the Pro League days when they took down EG. But as you mentioned, maybe now they, a few years later, could be on the receiving end. It's up to Kira to try and establish some rounds early here. Keeping in mind that, at least in APAC North, it is defend decided, but it is the attack to get the first pick that's Lusty.
Yeah, Mar goes down. We talked a bit about aggression, and I do respect the attempt there from Melusi to jump out the bench's window, but Lusty just punishes that right out of the gate. And there's another one. My God, Kira Esports playing very aggressively, but fortunately for Fnatic, they're keying straight into that and fighting back. That's a 3v5 position here for Kira. A difficult position to fight back from.
A Fav will pop both mirror windows. Trying to counter some pressure there on Fnatic if they decide to go outside, but they can hold firm at the moment and try and clear the rest of these defenders.
Do you like that strat though from Kira with the mirror windows on the garage wall? Obviously you're not going to try and peek anyone through them, but what it does mean is should Alfama try to place a thermite charge down, well, your Maestro has impacts. He can just throw it through that mirror window and destroy that thermite charge. So it makes it very awkward for the attack. But, you know what doesn't make it awkward for the attack? When Lusty just goes and kills everybody. Currently 5v2 for Fnatic. make that a 5v1. Could this be a flawless round to open up this match? Athav has just about everything left up to him, and he gets taken out. Lusty a 4K, and Fnatic a flawless round.
Not ideal if you're a South Asian fan, but if you're in the Fnatic camp, that's a great way to kick things off, and a strong start here on Consulate. A couple of early picks went their way, and the remaining defenders pretty much choked out, isolated, unable to get back towards site. We saw Magnet, for example, upside down on the anti-chamber rappel, locking that player inside of Bathroom. And even by that stage, to be honest, in the 2 versus 5, it was Fnatic's to lose, but they convert, and I don't think they'll be too unhappy with the way in which they achieved that.
In particular, the aggression from Kira just did not work out, right? Makes you a bit concerned for them. But also, this is quite a proving ground for Fnatic, right? They took down the Chiefs. It was a very close game. I think that should Fnatic be able to take down Kira here, who, of course, have had a good game already against CAG, not only does Fnatic then go into that upper bracket final, which gives them essentially 2 lives, right? They can play for that 3rd spot, which is the top that they could possibly get through this playoffs bracket, should they win the upper bracket final. Or if they lose, they go down to that lower bracket final, where they play for the 4th spot. And if they lose that, unfortunately, they do miss out on those top 2 spots. But it's a pretty big deal here for Fnatic. I mean, they've already guaranteed that they get some SI points. In fact, both of these teams will get some SI points, even should they lose every game from here on out. But Fnatic, they're really looking for that lion's share. They're really looking for that 3rd and 4th place that Krapel said was the team's goal out of this event.
Well, Fnatic have done a good job in the first round to work towards that goal. Of course, Siege can swing either way really quickly, and particularly on aggressive and volatile maps like Consulate, that often reigns true. Kira again playing quite aggressive off-site here, and Athav again on yellow looking to establish some pressure on that staircase. Fnatic leaning heavily into the rappels here to cut off the rotations of these roaming defenders, and we do in fact see both the Rattler and Envy on the top floor trying to maybe get that opening kill.
Now is the info for Fnatic. Slow and steady for now. A lot of rappel work. Slayer takes a whole bunch of damage. It looks like Fnatic's trying to clear that public bathroom position from outside. They do so perfectly as well. A drone confirmed by a farmer knows that Slayer has gone downstairs. But of course, there's still very much a roam game here for Kira. But at the moment, playing a lot more passively, somewhat sterilized compared to that first round where we saw that aggression just incessant. And of course, Fnatic fed pick after pick. Still a lot of info for the defense as well. But will Fnatic just start to gradually make progress now as we've still got half the round to go?
The roamers above for the defense, of course, need to be careful. We saw in the prep phase, Lusty had established a drone watching the long hallway, and that's a great way to catch defenders going up and down, particularly the yellow stairs, and if someone's holding that. And of course, Kira could find it difficult to rotate back towards site. Oh, the feet being seen there by Stigs. Lights that player up. It's Athav. He's going to hold firm, though. Desperately wanting to hold this yellow stairs position. Needs to be careful.
Yeah, he really has such a small margin for error for where he can sit. Is there an ADS protecting him? No, there's not actually. Wow. No Jaeger brought to the table whatsoever, and Kira punished for it. Athav taken out, and Alfama wants to breach this wall, but he's got another player to contest. Lights up Envy, who's finished off from the vertical pressure from Fnatic. We really need to see these roamers spring into action.
Vertical play from Fnatic proving too strong, and Tex outside of yellow will bring it back again to a 2 versus 5 against Kira. Death still on the top floor, could have an impact play, but surely he only finds 1 or 2 at tops.
C4. Oh no, it lands on the roof. Could this be another flawless round for Fnatic? Rattler against 5, and South Asia's hopes and dreams of not getting flawless once again rest on his shoulders. There's a consolation prize for him. No flawless round, but 4 more players to find on arguably the hardest site to retake in Rainbow Six. It's really just a matter of time here. Stigs to secure it, and Fnatic 2 incredibly dominant attack rounds back to back here.
Worrying signs here for Kira. Again, as I mentioned, in APAC North Stage 1, Consulate was 67% defend decided, and in fact that was reflected in the Garage Cafeteria site, again 67% with a decent sample size. So a little bit concerning that Fnatic are coming out of the gate so strong. I think a lot of that can be attributed to, 1, their pre-placed drones, 2, their ability to take quick map control, and 3, their strength on vertical play, using nades to full advantage as well as soft breach. And they are just finding pick after pick after pick, and Kira just not answering back.
Yeah, it's funny because in the first round, Kira got very aggressive and of course were punished for it. In the second round, they played a little bit more passive with their roam, and as a result, like you said, Fnatic just found that vertical play and did away with the site players, and Kira's roamers had no impact. So it's kind of a bit of a lose-lose situation for Kira, isn't it? If your roamers play aggressive, you get punished and you lose. If your roamers don't play passive, then Fnatic takes map control and absolutely guts out your site presence. So Kira not going to dwell too much on the past. A nice reinforcement there on the garage. Now remember, the site is actually lobby. Those reinforcements are just protecting the pulse down here and denying some early map control, or easy map control, I should say, for Fnatic.
5 seconds left.
I'm not sure as well if Fnatic actually have drones pre-placed down below. Of course, it can be a little bit tricky in the prep phase to decipher that, but at least from what I saw, it didn't look like they did. So that may indicate that Fnatic choose to ignore below, but as you said, Dev Slayer below on the pulse could be a very tantalizing prospect, if you would, for Fnatic. If they clear him out, that denies a lot of info for the defense that they can play off. What's this from Fnatic though? Everyone's stacking outside the front door. Maybe they'll do something cheeky.
I mean, at the moment, I don't think Fnatic is looking to attempt a rush. I think they're just playing slow and steady. Like, they're playing the util game, playing this like a game of chess. All right, what's they got on site? They've got an Evil Eye, let's nade that. They've got a deployable shield, let's breaching charge that. Like, just everything nice and easy. Now, of course, Slayer has some great info playing downstairs with that pulse scanner, but it doesn't matter if you know where you're dying to. If Kira can't deny this portion eventual plan from Fnatic, then it doesn't matter if they have that info.
Nice line of sight above here from Afav. With the UMP in hand. Still 2 proxies as well that haven't been used, but nevertheless, you can't worry about that being pressured. That Ash charge forces him back, but Alfama, he's going for the plant.
Oh my god, Fnatic looking to stick it as well. Alfama might die, but in fact, he somehow dodges the smoke. Stiggs goes wild on the cover. Athav above. He really was the player to deny that, and he did not. Now, another very, very difficult retake scenario for Kira. 3 versus 4, and Fnatic can just hold these strong positions. It'll be so difficult for Kira should they even get near that bomb to try and defuse it. Mag just abusing Invi and cleans him up. Athav and Slayer to do their best, but my god, they are given absolutely nothing. As Mag finds one more, Slayer is in spawn, he can find a kill. I don't think I've ever seen a defender in here, over here in a comp game. He finds 2, but the shenanigans is put to an end as Fnatic put down Kira a 3rd round in a row.
Clean execute there from Fnatic, and that's 3 sites straight on the board for them. Kira struggling to deny plants, and look, if basement is the most difficult site to retake as a defender in the game, I would say that a front lobby plant is very close to being second. A lot of lines of sight outside that Fnatic can abuse, and sure, we did see Slayer on the pulse find a couple of picks, but it really didn't mean a whole lot. And Fnatic comfortably do take the round in the end. Kira actually going to go split now. So they are trying everything here to get that first round on a board, and I love to see it.
Just to take a step back for a minute, right? Like, let's look at Fnatic's legacy as a team, right? So, of course, coming originally from Mindfreak on Xbox, of course, Mag and the coach Diz are the only remaining players. They qualified for that very first 6 Invitational, played on Xbox, and the following year they were playing at Invitational on PC. They got picked up by Fnatic, and really, honestly, like, alongside Norarengo, the team, which Norarengo no longer exists, the team that really has had the largest accomplishments internationally. You know, Fnatic was 5th place at 6 Invitational in 2020. The highest that any APAC team has ever gotten at Invitational. But last year was really not just a bump in the road for Fnatic, but honestly a complete shutdown for them. They lost arguably their best player, Virtue, to G2, and honestly last year was just abysmal. They were on the verge of being relegated out of APAC North, right, guys? And I think that for fans that have stuck by them through trials and tribulations in 2020, I think this is quite a redeeming moment for Fnatic right now. Not only to take down the Chiefs in that hard-fought first game, but to look so good here in their game against Kira on a dominance. This is exactly what the Fnatic fans have been screaming for the better part of 18 months.
Question will be, though, can Fnatic close this map out? Of course, you can always have a good start, but it doesn't count for anything if you end up getting swept aside in the latter stages of the map. So it's important that they keep this consistency up, and that will probably start here inside of Piano. Lusty on yellow stairs, looking to clear that player. Magnet holding above the flank on the Nomad. As again, they'll go for a top-down take, gain intel. I like this, though, from DEFUSER. He is playing the pulse, so Kira bringing that operator to the board once again. It's important that they actually play off that intel, though. It feels like they often do have a lot to work with, but they're not playing off it as efficiently as possible.
And the opening pick once again, Fnatic running away with this early on in the round as well. That's a second. My God, how far can Fnatic stretch their lead? They are looking so hot right now, and it looks like nothing can stop them.
Oh, Stigs is taken down. Mag, though, immediately trades that back, so it's a 2 versus 4 as Rattler looks to retake the service stairs. He's just run over a drone. I think it was active by Fnatic. Surely they know that at least one of them's above, and there we go. Lusty to clean up. Slayer misses the immediate trade. Lusty surely cleans this up, but no, he gets taken down, and Slayer's left in the 1-on-3.
Definitely an unenviable position. At least he found that refrag eventually. Fnatic have site controller. Farmer rolls on him with the diffuser, looking to get that down. Slayer eats up an air jab as he nonchalantly walks down. Keen on going through dungeon. Pre-fires come out. Fnatic know absolutely where he is. I feel like I can just palpably feel the stress for Slayer. Fnatic, such a well-established team, and in a 1v3 against them, there's no doubt you would have some nerves, and Fnatic steal away yet another attack.
It is tricky to fault Kira's ambition in this matchup. Sometimes when you verse a team of high caliber, it's easy to go back in towards your shell, maybe play more turtley and less aggressive. But we did see, for example, the mirror window facing inside of admin. And that would suggest to me that Kira is still, at least to some extent, looking to play aggressive and play their game. But Fnatic are just incredibly methodical. And again, Kira struggling to refrag picks. They need to try and play better off one another and prevent that snowball effect that we're seeing in a lot of these rounds, where Fnatic get the first pick, doesn't go, or it does go untraded rather, and then just steamrolls into a round win for them. So it's up to Kira to play off one another a little bit better here, and continue to play nice and aggressive and try and get in their face.
Certainly a scary moment now for the South Asian fans who are no doubt hyped up after Kira's win over CAG. But still haven't been able to find their footing on any of these bomb sites, mate. I mean, that is just... It's the point where you start getting your confidence rocked against you. I think something that can be said for Kira is they started strong in their game against CAG. Like, they had that early advantage. They pushed it to a 4-2 half, if I recall correctly, on Chalet defense. And I think it's partly, you know, that momentum. It keeps their confidence up. They keep on fighting. But
5 seconds left.
I feel like Kira, in a way, have confidence. They're going for all these spawn peaks, but... Like, is this forced confidence or is this natural? I can't tell. Oh my God,
this could be cheeky.
Yeah.
This is a nasty one, particularly the prone one on the yellow door. Can be very, very difficult to see that player prone, if not impossible sometimes if you're spawning in that location. But unfortunately for Kira, no one from Fnatic does spawn there. But Rattler with the SMG-11 outside the anti-window does drop Magnet on the Nomad. And that could allow for even more aggression mid-round.
It's a big one there. Flank watch going to be difficult for Fnatic, as I mean they're really just getting bullied at this point. I really like seeing this from Kira. It's exactly what we need. Play into what you can do, but don't get traded back. Oh, there. Tex almost makes that an even trade. Thanks to Lusty, who's honestly just been insane today. So good seeing him back on the entry. Seemingly unstoppable, but Fnatic still fighting from behind. 3v4.
Kira not afraid to retain their control above, but as you mentioned, Dev, important that they don't throw this advantage away. They have the perfect window of opportunity to get their first round win on the board. Envy getting super aggressive. Is he rewarded? No, Alfama drops him. Scathes away with a little bit of HP and will hold the angle in case someone goes for the revive. Tex meanwhile at the front door, maybe looking to find a pick and going to get swung on again. Oh my god, the aggression from Kira untamed in round number 5. Alfama and Lusty left to try and clutch up, but Lusty has site control. Doesn't matter. Kira cleaned him up and defenders will take the round.
Well, a bit of a scary start to this game for Kira, but they finally find their footing and knock Fnatic off of theirs. I really love that aggression. Isn't that just exactly what we've been looking for? And maybe it took Kira a little bit to warm up, but they might well be in this game. I really just, every second of that, like 2 people spawn picking the same spawn and everything else afterwards. I think it's exactly what they need. Even if they don't necessarily keep up the aggression, they've established themselves, right? They've knocked Fnatic off of that perch.
And it's felt like so often throughout stage 1 of APAC, if a team can scathe the 2-4 half, whether that be on the attack or in this case the defense, they have a fantastic opportunity to bring rounds back in the second half. And whilst it is, of course, very difficult to look past Fnatic, such a prestigious team, you just never know. In this league, stage 1 has just been absolutely insane. In North, in South Asia, all 3 divisions have been nutty so far in the regular season and already in day 1 of the playoffs. So at no point am I going to be discounting Kira here and ruling them out. I just don't see that being too comfortable for Fnatic at any stage.
Yeah, well, Fnatic looking to try and make their opponents uncomfortable, suppress that aggression a little bit with the Lion pick. I like that from Tex. Getting rid of the Thatcher. Funnily enough, you know, the garage is still in and, of course, taken here, so Fnatic's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to clear any wall denial off that wall, but of course, Kira aren't bringing any, which is a bit of a switch-up compared to the previous times they defended this site, where Slayer was on the mute. And, my god, Mag's just been spawn-peaked again. Still survived, but oh, there's the trade. There's the pick that Fnatic were looking for. Slow and steady wins the race, and my god, taken out. Fnatic, a Lion roars on the back of it, and well, they played that slowly and they punished that aggression. Oh my god, the smoke through the wall gets the down on Stigs.
Of course, in comp settings, Rattler will not know that he got that down, and it should be a safe pickup, you would presume, for Fnatic, unless someone gets aggressive over towards the yellow stairs position. Alfama does come across and lends his aid. Resets it back to a 5 versus 3 Deathmar, though with a very cheeky angle. Long line of sight, deep to the exterior of the building. Maybe if you can collect a pick here or do some significant damage, Kira can get back into this round.
Doable. Fnatic have looked so good when it comes to recomposing in the mid-round. Those gases extra deadly now that Fnatic have 3 players low HP. E1D roars out. That's the final one. Is that for an execute? No. Fnatic just baiting. They're looking to hopefully find another pick before they execute. Nice air jab. Oh, there's a C4 pick as well onto Alfama. Now 3 out of the 4 players from Fnatic are low HP.
And then they have half the garage wall open as well, and with that hard breach off the board, there's no opportunity to open the left-hand side, and that funnel will favour Kira. That said, Rattler has run out of smoke grenades, and there's no C4s left on the board either. So in terms of plant denial, they aren't in a great position. It's a great frag grenade there from Stigs to dislodge that smoke player on the stairs, and now it's really up to Slayer towards back white to go big, and he needs to find 4.
Difficult position, but if he makes these different engagements, he can do it. Lusty, always the thorn in their side, and the champion for Fnatic. He makes this half a 5-1 in their favor.
Wow, Stig's having a really, really impressive day so far, and in fact, it's felt like in the last few weeks he's found some really incredible form, both in the regular season of APAC North and, as I mentioned here, in the playoffs. And I think it's fair to say that when Stigs joined Fnatic last year, it was a bit of a rocky start and his performances weren't great, and in fact, in the very first weeks of APAC North this year in Stage 1, he had a couple of really poor performances, but he's brought that back and showing why he's worthy of being on this team. He's getting huge numbers on the board.
Yeah, certainly an impressive showing from Fnatic overall. I mean, I know that a lot of people would have rated Fnatic highly. I think their name carries a lot of weight, despite their, I guess, disappointing performance. I think it's safe to say that word, disappointing performance in 2020. And even in Stage 1 so far, while it is a step up, you know, it took a long time for Fnatic to really find their stride. They were losing their opening games to teams like Dam1, for example, which they lost to in overtime. They had a couple other overtime losses. I think the big breakaway moment for Fnatic this year was when they defeated CAG in regulation, no less, as well, during APAC North. Honestly, just a massive moment for them, and you know, without that, they would not have qualified, of course, for these playoffs. And I think the next biggest moment for Fnatic is showing that they're actually, you know, making it to playoffs was not just by chance. They are ready to take it to all these teams here with their first win against Chiefs and looking to follow it up here against Kira. Definitely just a very heartwarming and exciting moment for Fnatic fans, seeing their team finally hit the stride that they've known that they've been capable of for such a long time.
Of course, all the teams heading into these playoffs have that carrot dangling in front of them in terms of 6 invitational points, but I guess it's even larger and maybe golden for Fnatic after not qualifying for 6 invitational 2021. That hurt them a lot, I think it's fair to say, and it was a disappointing year, as you mentioned. So they're looking to bounce back and, I guess, get their revenge on the rest of APAC and, in fact, the other regions when hopefully international competition resumes. That said, they will focus here on Consulate. And now Farmer's in a key position on yellow. How efficient will Kira's clear of this utility be? In the current meta, you wouldn't expect it to be too challenging, and they also have the Thatcher.
Here we go, the nade to come through, caught by an ADS. Our Farmer takes so much damage though, a nice gas though. Push off Envy, but our Farmer taken down nonetheless. I believe that was another nade, but not entirely sure. Slayer confirms that, oh no, actually that was the player in bathroom. Mag's looking to flank bot Yellow and potentially deny this kill, and he does so. That's perfect, takes down those 2 drones as well. And backs on our Farmer's still on the ground, but that kill not confirmed, and Kira may well not know about it.
Nonetheless, might be a tricky res for Fnatic, depending on if Kira have eyes on this cross. No one's really in a position to pick him up, and in fact, the crosses are covered. So we've basically got to treat this like a 4 versus 3, and in fact, it is confirmed. Athor finds 2 picks, one of course being down. It's up to Stigs to go big. He hits the 1 tap. And now he needs to link up with Mag and try and bring this round back.
2v3, very winnable here. Envy on the donut. Man, that is a... Whoa, that's not going to fill you with a lot of confidence. Stigs and Mag waiting. They don't have to make a play as of yet. Mag actually has this shield to protect him as well. That smoke actually gives him cover as well from the CEO window. Slayer, Diffuser at his side. Kira have to play this right. Oh, he wants to repel in. That is dangerous. And now all of the Kira players stack up. And they're in front of the shield as well. Mag misses the shots. And we see the Nomad cross into sight. That might be one for Mag. No, he loses the fight. All on Stigs. In the 1 versus 3, this is winnable if he can isolate these gunfights.
Tries to get towards Con, hits a flick there onto Deathamara. It was a sharp shot, but Slayer returns fire. Kira hold on to win the round. It was a very, very messy execute there. It looked very dangerous as they funneled through yellow, but they managed to pull it off.
We have Kira getting the 2nd round on the board. I will say, credit to Kira. I think they played that overall quite well. In this case, it is kind of Fnatic turning up and looking to throw some aggression Kira's way, as tends to be the way with a map like Consulate. I feel like if you just let the attackers have their way with whatever setup that you present to them, then you're going to have a bad time. For example, that yellow stairs hold with the Jaeger Wamai nerfs coming into fruition, even though you have Jaeger Wamai and a Rooney to deny projectiles, it's pretty likely Kira is still going to be able to nade out your yellow player, as did happen. But of course, Fnatic brought it back with some good aggressive plays. Eventually, Kira recomposed and made sure not to throw in the 3v1, which is ever so important in these dire situations, especially when you're going up against a team that no doubt intimidates you like Fnatic, and when you're going up against a team that is favored and is in such an advantage, up 5-1. I think it's important for Kira to have that composition in those dire moments, even when they have the advantage.
Lusty bringing out the Frost, things you love to see.
Your favorite.
Definitely my favorite.
5 seconds
I played a ranked game the other day, and we
three
replayed this.
kills,
We
right?
replayed the same opponent after I played Frost in the previous game. I told the other team to ban her out, and then I played her every single round against them, got MVP, and rubbed salt in the wounds. So a little bit toxic from me. But
Didn't you get a 3K with the mats? Like, I think it was the
Yeah.
opening round of that game. Every single mat, someone fell in.
yeah, look, I think it's safe to say that in ranked, at least at my rank, it's probably more effective than it would be in comp play. You would expect Kira to...
Oh, no!
You would expect them to be
no!
methodical, but clearly Rattler was not on that occasion, but fortunately he is picked up straight away, and he gets a kill! So the strat works, Lusty baited in.
Attackers bomb diffuser
Oh,
has
it's the other mat! Rattler just walked into his second mat! My god! Well, you might have taken down Lusty, but I think he's earned his place on that roster with the Frosts. Justifiable pick, it looks like. Does Kira look at taking that admin control? Max below, is there a C4 in hands? Still in pocket at the moment as he scans out all the way down in the basement at the moment. Good information he can gather from here. His admin control has worked out well for Kira, but they've got to convert that and keep taking map control.
They gotta be careful as well.
Bomb located
That
by
third Frost
attackers.
map could be a spanner in the works, but on a serious note, Tech's inside of console office could pose a threat, laying down prone and ready for any drones that head in his direction. Kira with 8 still to work with. That's a lot of intelligence available. A farmer as well is in support, and Mag down below indirectly assisting. Keeping in mind, thank you Marshall for showing us that the diffuser is in fact outside. Kira likely need to recover that, and with the amount of time remaining, they may well just be forced into a front door push, which may not be ideal.
Stiggs is in a good position. Tex also. Kira have to play this right. There's the pick from above, and Tex upstairs. Still both, or 2 out of 3 of these Fnatic players with the vertical potential. There's one for Mag. Zathav is the last man standing. Evil Eye calls out his position. Fnatic has so much vert as well to cover this. Oh, where's he going to go? Starts to go up yellow stairs. He's actually going to try and contest some of these kills. Dangerous play. He's going to have to land some pretty nuts shots. Bearing 9 in hand. That thing has a heck of a lot of recoil. He doesn't get spotted on the camera. No one from Fnatic was on it. Do they have any idea? Have they rotated back to side? They're just playing cat and mouse. 21 seconds left. While he does have the diffuser in hand, Fnatic have so much information,
seconds left.
and they're not giving him the opportunity. Mag is just looking for the signal, and Alfama takes match point for Fnatic.
Solid work there from Fnatic. They had a lot of intel on side as well, the Maestro, making it almost impossible to get the execute down, and in combination with Mag on the heartbeat sensor, Kira basically could not move around without their location being known to the defense. Fnatic, as you mentioned, now claim match point. And as the desk said earlier, they'll be wanting to close this out quickly, but I can only assume that Kira are initiating attack pause to at least halt some momentum.
I love these tack pauses, honestly. I think that they're one of the best things that we've had changed in the Rainbow Six Esports ecosystem in a while. I just love the way we see teams use it to turn the tide of momentum. And, you know, I would love to champion here the David storyline. Wait! Okay, our production literally just said, Fnatic pause, I am not trolling. So this is a Fnatic tactical timeout on match point when they have just won a round. And this is something we see Fnatic do before, actually. In some cases to their detriment. I seem to recall, getting an inkling of a memory. I think it was, about a year ago or something? Fnatic took a tactical timeout when they were in the advantage, and they ended up losing a couple rounds on the back of it, and then didn't have a tactical timeout then to use when they were in the disadvantage. But hey, I mean, I have confidence here in Fnatic. I think that they can lock it in. They just wanted to chat, presumably, about this Garage Cafeteria defense, because of course they haven't selected it as of yet. Wanted to confirm some things. We're going to see a 6-pick too.
Yeah, it might be interesting to get Mag's take on that, assuming they win the match. Why exactly they took that tactical timeout, and maybe what they discussed. I wonder if that was discussed. The Capcan 6-pick there from Mag. And it's not the first time Fnatic have dabbled in the Capcan a little bit. I remember way back in the day, it was Rizraz. He was playing a little bit of Capcan, if my memory serves me correctly. Of course, a long, long time ago now, but keen to see him in the fray. We don't see a whole lot of Capcan play, but he can be a bit of a nuisance to deal with and chip away at the attackers as they enter the building.
Well, we just saw the Frost get 2 successful mats, right? So if I'm Rattler right now, I'm checking every single doorway. Top, bottom, left, right, everywhere. I do not want to walk into any of those entry denial devices.
Bomb located by attackers. 5 seconds left before insertion.
Just take a step back and have a look at the opening picks so far this game. It really has been quite a mixed bag, but Styx has been on point. He's found 3 so far. And overall, Fnatic has seemingly been in the advantage as they continue that as well. Was that a spawn peak? Must have been so early in the round. Tex really just slaps Kira right in the face and takes Amar off the board.
Very cheeky there from Tex. Of course, is now going positive, 4 and 3, so decent map from him. Kira, of course, now need to try and recover, and there's one less soft breacher for late in the round, especially if they want to work vert above. And on the topic of above, Mag is roaming around, maybe looking to strengthen Fnatic's position, as Kira now look to open up the garage breach, but without control above, I can't see this really counting for a whole lot, especially late round.
This is kind of awkward. So, no thermite means that the Hibana will be utilized here by Kira. Now, I presume the idea here is to counter the impact trick, using 2 at a time, but...
Oh, you got to do it properly, though.
Yeah, this is actually going to make a really minced up breach. It's going to be super awkward if Kira can't nail this properly. This wall is like the #1 wall you need to breach properly in the game, right? If you're breaching this site, and oh man, that is just so awkward.
Oh no. Maybe this could work. I don't think it gets denied.
Might get
Let's
shot.
have a look. Oh, it's so hard to tell. I think you might be able to crouch into that.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of
Just got to wriggle your way in a little bit. Take a deep breath.
Well, here it is. There's a nice pick from Tex, making this a 5v3 at Darv. Waltz is into the bomb site, looking for this pick on the player. Pipes reveals his position. Alfama doesn't overextend. Mag finds one with the PMM, of course. That's the player in sight taken out. Envy and Slayer to hold on. Match point for Fnatic in a 5v2. Surely we don't see the Thronatic rear its ugly head, but Envy says, I'll get one, trade it back. That's DEFUSER down. And Fnatic may well have punched their ticket to the upper bracket final. Slayer versus 3, and all of Fnatic just swarm that DEFUSER. They know they don't have to hold sight. All they need to hold is that lunchbox, and Slayer's gonna have to go hunting for it. Fnatic have taken his lunch money, and there's no chance he can get it back. He'll have to find 3 kills in the next 15 seconds. Say hello to the camera. He's not even gonna try. He's baiting these picks. And surely this is the round that Fnatic punched their ticket to that final. Slayer going for that defuse. Fnatic are gonna round the corner. The perfectly timed swing. Lusty locks it in. Fnatic resurgence. It's happening. And they take us to the upper bracket final.
A textbook performance there from Fnatic. The legacy speaks wonders. It's a sad day, I guess, or a sad matchup, at least for the South Asian fans, but for Fnatic, they'll be very happy with that result. A 7-2 victory is solid, and they punched that ticket in a very strong fashion.
Massive game there for Fnatic, and they redeemed themselves here after 2020 going down the toilet. 2021 may be their chance to please their fans, and honestly,